I'm Vanessa Joy, and I'm going to show you the difference between hard and soft light, because you're probably using that term wrong.
Thanks so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
It's actually a huge pet peeve of mine when people think hard light is actually soft light and soft light is hard light. A lot of people think hard light is when they see contrasty light, but that's just not the case. Hard and soft light have to do with the difference between the size of the light in relation to your subject. I've got my Profoto B10 here. Let's start with the far away, because I said the smaller the light source in relation to my subject, the harder the light. So the further away I get here with this, the harder the light source is going to be. Awesome. Now that shadow, it's nice and defined. I do have this on auto, so it might be a little bright, too dark, doesn't matter. That shadow is clearly defined. As I move my light source away, it's going to get even more clearly defined. However, as I move it closer to her, this is actually creating a somewhat softer light. If we look at this picture here and compare it to the one when the light was further away, look at how those lines on the edge of the shadow are much softer now that the light is closer. If I get even closer to her, this is actually softer. Do me a favor, turn your nose just a little that way. Yeah. Because what's actually going to happen, while this is softer light, I want you to look not at just what's happening with the shadow, but look at what's on her face. Her face now, and you look at the shadow like from her jaw, her cheekbones, because the light is closer to her, it's softer. It's not as much of direct lines versus if it's all the way back here. I'm gonna take the same thing and kind of look down that way again. All right, so now while the light is harder, look at that shadow underneath her chin as well as the shadow on the background. This affects what's going on with your subject's face as much as it does as throwing a shadow.
In case you haven't already heard about today's video sponsor, Squarespace, let me tell you some of my favorite features. I've used Squarespace for a ton of different websites. My photography website, e-commerce website, selling photography education, and I've even designed my dad's band website. And it's all done in just a few clicks because Squarespace has really wonderful design templates for any type of style that you can imagine, and they're all clean, professional, and really easy to use. Now, if you're a photographer like I am and you are always on the go, updating your website tends to be the thing you put on the back burner. Well, with Squarespace's app, you can upload new photos to your website right from your mobile device, making sure that your photography work that is showcased is up to date at all times. Now, Squarespace isn't just about building a website. Yeah, it does that, and it's great. It also goes one step further into the workflow management of your business, including sending invoices, calendar scheduling, accepting payments, you name it, Squarespace probably does it. Now, if you head to the link in the description below, you're gonna get an extra 10% off. So make sure you take advantage of that. Try out Squarespace and see how easy it is to create a website, manage it, throw anything you want on there, and showcase your business as best as it can be. Now back to the video.
All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch to a bigger light source. Looking at this is a much bigger light source, right? Before it was just a little B10. Now it's this whole huge thing. So let's start off with it farther away. Let's just kind of throw it right there. Good. So now what's happening with her, there's almost no shadow behind her because how far away it is, the amount of light on her face is more equal to the amount of light on the backdrop. But because it's further away, it's a little bit hard of a light source. You can still see some of the shadow. So now this is nice and close to her. This is going to create a very soft light. All right, so now you can't even see the shadow on the wall at all. That is soft light. And if you look at her face, all of the light to shadow areas, it's nice and gradual. It's not a harsh line. You don't see a harsh line below her chin. So I hope that made sense. From now on, it's not about the contrast. That's not hard and soft light. It's about the type of shadows that the light is creating. Hard light comes from small light sources. Soft light comes from big light sources in relation to your subject. Thanks so much for joining me here on YouTube. Hit subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss anything, and I'll see you next time.